Hey y'all, what's up? Big Wooly here, and welcome back to another episode of our All the Mods 10 Let's Play. I was just chilling on the couch, going over my clipboard. We got some stuff in store today. We're going to work on getting HDPE sheets done so that we can wrap up our gravitational modulating unit for the star. I'm going to put a pause on the modern industrialization because someone in the comments told me we may not need it after the next update. And then we've got some other just like low-hanging fruit to knock out for our star. So without further ado, let's get into it. All right, so first things first, let's just get into the making the HDPE sheets. We're actually going to need a new spot for mechanism stuff because we have filled the channels here. So we need some channels. We need a P2P bus. I need to find where I'm going to put it. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to pause right here and line us up some space, and I'll be back when we're ready to go. All right, we're over here by the mess that was Saturday's stream. This is modern industrialization, and we're not even close to the things we needed to get to for our motors. Kind of hope it's not a requirement, but if it is, we'll pick that up and keep going with it. But for now, I brought us over a P2P bus, grab some channels, you know the drill, put the little thing right there. So let's go take a look at the quest line and see where we need to get to. So it is going to be down here in the tech section mechanism. So it's this right here. We're going to need a crusher. It crushes biofuel, and I believe we crush the biofuel again to get, well, let's see, uses on the biofuel. Where do we go? I want to say we crushed it a second time, but I could be wrong. Pressurized reaction chamber. Nope. It goes into a pressurized reaction chamber with hydrogen and water, puts out ethylene and substrate. I swear I thought you could crush it too for like biofuel, but maybe that's a new process. Either way, so we're going to need pressurized reaction chamber. We're going to need a crusher. And then HDPE pellets. We are going to need another pressurized reaction chamber. We already have the two chemicals there, but we are going to need liquid ethylene. And it looks like the one that we get from here is going to be plain ethylene, which we can also multiply, or ethane, sorry. We can multiply our substrate to 8 substrate and get a byproduct of oxygen with another pressurized reaction chamber. So we're up to 3. And then is this ethane or ethylene? What is it? Ethane. Okay, liquid. All right, so we're going to have to do a rotary condensator. So we need 3 pressurized reaction chambers, a crusher, a rotary condensator, and then to finish it off, an enrichment chamber. So let me get all that together and then we will set this up. Here we go. We were having some power issues. Had to sort that out. There's a bunch more reactors over there, and I still don't know if everything's good, but it's all working for now. Everything was backed up because the furnace had no power, and yeah, that was interesting to sort out. But here we go. So this process starts with a crusher. All of these things are going to need power, and with mechanism, you need like all the sides. So we're going to like put the flux point right there. We're going to carry some energy cable over for these machines to just sit on, and we're going to roll with it this way. Kind of ugly, but it will get done what we need to get done. Let's grab out a wrench. Wrench it. Let's put an upgrade in there just in case. Make sure it's on round robin. It is, and let's put it on the network. I think I had some kind of weird energy loop where it was like sucking energy from power into flux networks. It was weird, but I think we've got it sorted. So we're directly above this row, which means we don't necessarily want dense cable there. So that means Wooly just put all this down and I got to move it. So, well, move it all and then yep. You're going to watch me move it because, you know, you're going to screw up in your world too. No, you won't. You're going to be better than Wooly. All right, there we go. That's the one. And we're going to run a line straight on down. And then we need to toss our flux point down again. Grab out a wrench again. Wrench it. Toss in the upgrade. Verify round robin. There we go. First thing in line is going to be the crusher. And the reason we don't want it right on the dense cable line is because you cannot connect devices directly to dense cable. You can only connect to the other. So we need to be able to pull off our regular cables off of this, and that's why we had to change it. So we're going to pull a regular cable to the front, or to the top, and to the back, and then we're going to need export buses. And on this one, I think we just need one export bus, and it needs to export something for us to crush into biofuel. What do we have that makes biofuel? Do we have melon slices? We have melon, and we have melon slices, and I think I can't craft them. I could add one more crusher, though, because I can craft the melons from nature's essence. And then if I go to uses on melon and we run it through a crusher, oh, well, I can just crush the melon directly. Cool. The melon slices, I think, gives a better ratio. Oh, you can't crush them in this one. Cool. That works even easier. So we're just going to need a crafting card and some acceleration upgrades. Crafting card, acceleration. And then if we come in here and we tell it, you get the melons. And we need to teach the system how to craft them, because I do believe we didn't have a crafting recipe. So let's go toss that in here before it stops working, and I'm wondering why. Crusher. Crusher. Nope. Melon. There we go. So melon is made from our nature's essence. There we go. Toss in the recipe, and now the system can make our melon. Now we're going to put all this stuff on drawers so that we can keep stacks of things. I think the melon, or the biofuel, we might actually want to keep more than just like the 2,000. So I am going to put a couple stack upgrades in there, and that'll be kind of a buffer for us. And then we will be able to lock and link this once we tell the machine where to output. So we're going to clear everything. It's going to take its item input from the top. It's going to output to the right. Auto eject is on. And there we have our biofuel. Lock it, or link it, and lock it. So link, lock, there we go. Now we should be able to see the biofuel in our system. We can. Awesome. Let's pull some out for the quest credit. Sweet. Next thing, we want to turn it into substrate. So if we process the substrate through, or this through a pressurized reaction chamber with water and hydrogen, it will give us substrate and ethane as outputs. So we're going to need a lot of faces on this next device, which is the pressurized reaction chamber. Do we skip? Let's skip one just in case we need that left side face for an item output or input. We're going to need to get two different things into it, I do believe, which is what, 3 different things into it, but we can do all of that, 2 of them on one export bus. One of them's going to have to be on another because of the sides. So in the top here, we are going to tell it that you get biofuel, which we could just bring it from that drawer, but we want it to go through the system because we want it to buffer. Actually, no, this is fine because we're going to share an input with a fluid here and it doesn't really matter. And I want to leave the face open just in case. Okay, so you get biofuel. Yep, you can export it, not ×4. And then we will give you acceleration cards. And you're also going to take from the top a fluid. So let's clear everything. And top is an input. We're going to clear all these and tell it top is an item input as well. Item output we'll set up in a second. And then it's going to need to take a chemical. Let's clear it and tell it that it can take chemicals from the back. All right. And so then we need our cable and another export bus here. And this one gets oxygen, right? Was that what it said it needed? Oxygen, acceleration cards. And then you are going to need to input water. Scheduling mode, we'll turn them on to round robin on that one. And now we should, in theory, right? Oxygen uses, let's make sure. In the pressurized reaction chamber, water, and it's hydrogen, not oxygen. Okay. So get rid of oxygen, which we should have stored. Hydrogen. Okay. There we go. And that is going to start making our ethane and our doohickeys, the substrate. So we're going to tell it that it can item output to the right, auto output on. Same thing we just did. Link and lock. And now we have access to substrate. Now we need one more face over here. We are going to need to be able to pull in our ethane into our system, and we're going to need to make a disk up to store it. I've shown you guys that, so let me just get that set up. Oh, well, let's do the config together. So we need an input bus. Import, sorry. Import bus. And this import bus is going to go right there. And we're going to tell it that you can output the chemicals to the left. And then we need a 1M chemical cell. Let's head over to our cell workbench. Toss it in, and you get ethane. Regular ethane. Okay. And now there will be a place for that to go. And we should notice it go vanish from the machine. Import bus, acceleration cards. There we go. Now we've got it out. That's good to go. Everything seems to be flowing just fine. Let's make sure. Yep. Okay. Now the next step. For right now, we are just going to get our rotary condensator, which I forgot, to swap our ethane over into liquid ethane, and then we will set up this next one. So we need a rotary, not like the Mazda. No crafting CPUs are available. What are we backed up on again? We're backed up on dry ice because I was trying to make more reactors. Okay. So I guess if we cancel this, the power setup will be able to free up because it'll process the dry ice. Okay, give me a second. All right, got our rotary condensator going. Here, don't have it set up. We'll set it up together. We're gonna need export bus and some cable. That's really should be about it with, you know, acceleration cards, all that jazz. You guys are getting the hang of that by now. So the export bus is going to go on one side here, and it is going to pull out our ethane. Toss in some acceleration cards for good measure. And this is already on condensating mode, which is going to produce liquid ethane. And I have a fluid drawer right here next to it for us. And that way we can lock and link this drawer, and we will have access to our liquid ethane in the system for the next step. So there we have it, drawer with liquid ethane in it. Rotary condensator is up and running. We'll toss some speed and power and whatnot upgrades into all these mechanism machines once we're done. We have all that on AutoCraft. I will just craft them up. Now, I am going to come right over here on the other face, the other side of this. We'll just pull some cable over and get us some power down so we've got access to the stuff we need. The next piece of this process, let's make sure there's nothing we're supposed to pull out of there. Right, so we got to get that into that to be able to do this. Sweet. The next is another pressurized reaction chamber right here. It is going to need water, hydrogen, or oxygen. Which one was it? Come on, Wooly. Get with the program. Uses of substrate. oxygen, and liquid ethane along with substrate. So we can get away with 2 again because we can share an interface between a chemical or fluid. The different types can share an interface, but if it's like you need 2 the same items coming in, we have to do other faces. And actually, since it's water and oxygen, we may be able to do it all on one. Let's see. So if we go in here and we go substrate, and then we go water, and then we go oxygen, toss in some acceleration cards, tell it to go round robin. It looks like, let's see, item in from the top, chemicals in from the top, and fluids input from the top. So why will you not also export the oxygen? Who knows? So we will put one more export bus right there. Then we'll come back in here and we're going to tell it chemicals. It's going to take in from the left. And then now it should be able to take oxygen. I didn't miss something, did I? Is it liquid oxygen? Nope. Regular oxygen. Pressurized reaction chamber. It's not water, Wooly. It's not water. It's liquid ethane. Oh my goodness. Okay. Let me get this out of here. Liquid ethane. We're going to put there. I'll clear the water out. Once you put the right things in, the machine works. Imagine that. Actually, we were able to utilize the top all together. It's got the liquid ethane, the oxygen, and the substrate all being brought in on one bus on the top, and that's because they are different types. If we needed 2 fluids or 2 items, you have to use separate buses for those. Thanks, mechanism. It looks like this thing's running low on power. Let's get some energy upgrades and toss them in here and see if we can save ourselves. We'll go ahead and just hit them all. Makes them hold more and makes them more efficient, if I understand correctly. So, yep, there we go. Now we're keeping full. We'll hold off on the speed upgrades because this process is like a duration kind of process. It's not something that we need to be super fast. It's more of like it's going to build up in our system over time. All right, now we need to get the HDPE pellets out and into a drawer. So we'll put us a drawer. We're going to go to the item config and tell it can output auto eject to the right. You guessed it, lock it, link it. There we go. We're going to go ahead and put some storage upgrades in this one, just like we did the others. Make it hold enough. It's linked. Now we should be able to access our HDPE pellets. Last machine. So we're going to put down our last machine here, which is the enrichment chamber, and the enrichment chamber just needs the HDPE pellets being brought into it from the back. Why didn't you set it while you're back there, Wooly? HDPE pellet, some acceleration cards. We don't want to export acceleration cards into there. And now we should be able to tell it that items can be input from the back. Let's clear all the other sides. And that it can eject them to the right. And we will put a drawer right here for our HDPE sheets. Auto eject on. Once again, lock it, link it. I'm not going to put an upgrade in here because I don't know that we'll need more than 2,000 at a time. Actually, let's just do one upgrade just for good measure. And there we have it. We are all the way up to our HDPE sheets. And we should, in theory, be able to like gravitational modulating. Can we do this? Can we do this? Okay, so there's our modular base. And then our jetpack units, which we need 2 of, our polonium pellets from the last episode. There we go. And then our gravitational modulating unit, we need 1 more of these. And then we should be able to tell it to craft up our 2 ultimate induction providers, which we needed the lithium dust for that we set up a couple episodes ago. And now, gravitational modulating unit. There we go. Another core component for a star piece knocked out, and then hopefully we don't have to make that large motor. We'll see. That's the modern industrialization disaster over there that we're trying to get through to get to this last piece for the motor. We're going to pause on that until I have a chance to go look at those update notes and verify what was said in the comments of a previous video. Because if I don't have to do it, I'm not going to. If we do have to do it, I will try to either do it, finish it up in a stream to cover with you or something. Here are things that I have been working on and not telling you guys about. All of these blocks, they are all listed around the star here. One of them that we did craft earlier and I haven't pulled out to get the quest credit for is 6x netherrack. So you just got to have enough netherrack. And these are components for various star pieces. I've just been kind of lining up those things down here. And in that same vein, that's some of what we have left to wrap up today's episode. The rest of this should go really quick. I did a couple seeds off camera. I made some nether star seeds because we're going to need more of those. We're still not all the way done. We need 3 more 3x nether stars to finish outlining things around here that you have to have for each star. And we're just not there yet. I don't think we're going to get through the core of the star before we have enough, but let's ramp up production because you may want to make more stars in your world, and we can go over your various ways of ramping it up. I'd kind of said that maybe we want to do, pulsating black hole we've done. Not sure what we're going to target next. We'll save that for the start of the next episode. Now, I know this was a mess, but I hope you were able to follow it, and if you need the HDPE sheets in your world, there you have it. Give me a second to shuffle inventory around and get ready, and we will go over this last little bit. The first couple of these are just some recipes. So I was kind of looking around at all of the various blocks that we just need to get crafted up that we need to be working on. This is a whole other story. The Patrick Starfish, all that sand and stuff, it's just a bunch of recipe put in too, but I don't think you guys need to see all that. These ones are kind of unique, so I bookmarked them for us. Insanium gemstone blocks and Insanium coal blocks. The Nether Star Crux, which is kind of weird, but just to craft. And these Witherproof blocks, we needed Wither Skeleton Essence for. And Soulstone, Wither Skeleton Essence we didn't have, so I just took the Wither Skelly Skulls we're getting from our hostile neural networks, and I made up the seed before the episode, so hopefully we should have enough to craft all that up. So let's just go through and do some craft pinning and recipe banking together. Prosperity gemstones we already have. It already knows how to make the Insanium essences. Done. Then the gemstone block is just 9 of the gemstones that we just taught the system how to make. Well, we didn't teach it. We made the recipe. It'll know how when we put them in. The Nether Star Crux we don't really need a recipe for. We're just going to craft that one together. Witherproof block we probably do want on autocraft because if you're going to build with it, you're going to want a bunch of it. Now, it looks like Soulstone is not crafting. Let's see. Yeah, so we don't have Soulstone on autocraft. I think we have some cobbled. No, let's see. Soul. What do we have? Soul sand, soulless sand, soulstone. How can we make you? Cobbled soulstone. Can we make that? We can extract that. Okay, well, if we need more than 756, we'll have to figure that out. But for now, that should be fine for knocking that out. And then let's toss in these recipes and craft up the blocks. So in you go, in you go, and in you go. Now, the Nether Star Crux, I actually got the materials together to make 2 of them, and I tossed them in the barrel with the seeds I made beforehand because the Crux is actually how you grow your Nether Star seeds. I still haven't checked the dire soil to see, but I think there's something wrong with dire soil in the patch we're in. But either way, so we're going to make up 2 of these because we made 2 of the seeds. These seeds are kind of like the aldermanium seeds, everything else. They need the crux underneath them to grow. So I'm going to pick a spot like right here, break our lily pad, and then we are going to put our crux down, put our soil down, grab out some red fertilizer. We're going to hoe this soil. Hoe. And it's going to plant one of our seeds for us, and we're going to hit it with the red fertilizer, rinse and repeat, and now we have 2 nether star seeds being grown, as well as the nether stars that are coming in from the other way. Now, these are different. They like turn into shards that you then craft into the nether stars, but either way, every little bit we can get into the system is going to help. Let's look at the clipboard, Wooly. Insanium gemstone, done. We didn't do insanium coal, nether star crux, witherproof blocks we did. Last thing we had on the agenda for today is the insanium coal. And you've guessed it, it's pretty simple. We're just going to come over here, insanium coal block, tell it how to make those. And then insanium coal is just coal and insanium, and the system knows how to make all of that. Super simple. I don't know which pieces these are for, but when we get to them, they will already be on AutoCraft. Let's get our quest credit. Let's craft up one of those, and let's craft up one of these. Pull them into the inventory. There we go. Witherproof blocks, we can do that. And there's our witherproof blocks. The nether star crux we should have gotten the credit for too. Why is this one not proceeding? Oh, it wants witherproof bricks. I think that means witherproof blocks. We probably have to make, my guess would be we need 4 of these so that you can make the brick pattern and make a brick. Hey, look at there. I'm so smart. So there's our witherproof bricks. Those are going to be part of the wither's compass that we make. Now, looks like insanium gemstones. Oh, it wants 4. No problemo. 3 more. There we go. And that gets us credit there. That should actually unlock the ability to craft the creative essence, which maybe we can just do. Heck yeah. That is another star piece for real. Oh, bam. Yeah, we're getting blocks of stuff. Where does it go? Where do you go? Creative essence, bottom right of the 3x3 with all the weird stuff. I didn't realize we were going to be knocking out another one on the star today. Heck yeah, it's low-hanging fruit. It was easy, but there we go. That was a nice reward too, getting some blocks there. And with that, that covers everything I had on the clipboard and then some. I hope you guys were able to follow along. Hope you enjoyed it. Thank you guys so much for participating in the comments and watching the series and liking, and all of the new subs. Welcome in. I love this. I absolutely love it. Oh my gosh. Anyways, we are going to target another star piece. I hopefully will have read the patch notes so we know about what to do for our Nexium emitter next time as well. And with that, we'll see y'all next time.